Everybody wants to talk about the beefs, the guns, the chaos. But what about the man who walked through this entire industry and somehow came out with almost no real enemies left? What about the boy who used to trek for miles just to rap for free, and ended up selling out a venue in London that hosted the Rolling Stones and Adele? If you've been with us through the Shatta Wale story and the Stonebwoy story, you already know his name comes up in both of them. But today, we're giving him his own spotlight, and trust me, this one goes deeper than you think. This is the real story of Sarkodie. His real name is Michael Owusu Addo, born on the 10th of July, 1985, in Tama, to a working-class family originally from Joso in the Ashanti region. He was the fourth of 5 children, and life didn't start out simple. His parents separated when he was still young, and for a while, he was sent to live with his father in Koforidua, before his mother, Imamami Agre, regained custody and brought him back to Tama during his junior high school years. Even as a small boy, rapping came naturally to him, and by the time he reached Achimota Preparatory School and later Tama Methodist Day Senior High School, the same school Stonebwoy would later attend, his talent for rhyming in Chu was already impossible to ignore. After secondary school, he went on to earn a degree in graphic design from IPMC, the Institute of Professional Studies, giving him a creative foundation most rappers of his generation never had. But before any of the fame, there was real hustle, the kind most fans never hear about. Sarkodie has said openly that music became his getaway from a genuinely tough childhood, a form of expression before it was ever a career. He'd walk long distances from Tama all the way to Spintex just to perform at local bars, sometimes getting nothing more than a single bottle of Coke as payment for the whole night. He wasn't doing it for money or fame at that point. He said plainly that it was about the joy he saw on people's faces when he rapped. His own manager, a man named Angel Town who has now worked alongside him for over 20 years, has described meeting Sarkodie for the very first time when he was still a skinny secondary school student, joking that he looked almost like a refugee back then. In 2008, Sarkodie stood at a genuine crossroads. An advertising company had offered him a stable job, and he turned it down completely to bet everything on music instead. That decision alone tells you everything about how much he actually believed in himself before the rest of the world did. Quick one before we keep going. If there's an artist whose full story you want us to dig into next, drop their name in the comments right now. We're building this out one legend at a time, and your comments genuinely decide who's next.
My name is Sarkodie Bidding. Ghana, stand up.
Like so many Ghanaian artists of his era, Sarkodie's real break came through the same underground battleground that launched Stonebwoy, Edem FM's rap competition, Kosohore level. It was there that he met a man named Duncan Williams, who became his first manager, and it was around that same circle that he crossed paths with the man who arguably played the single most crucial role in his entire career, the legendary producer and hip life godfather, Hammer of the last two. Hammer had already built a reputation for discovering and grooming some of Ghana's biggest names, including Obrafour himself, along with Tiny, Kwesi, and Edem, and it was under Hammer's wing that Sarkodie found his real footing. Now here's something worth setting straight. Because it gets misreported a lot, the song Dey Craze was never actually Sarkodie's own record. It belonged to Edem, released back in 2008, produced by Hammer, and Sarkodie was simply a featured guest on it, alongside Kwesi. But that guest verse was exactly the moment that put his name on the lips of Ghana's youth for the very first time. Hammer was so impressed by his delivery that he opened the door for everything that followed. Sarkodie has never hidden how much he owes to Hammer either, name-checking him directly in more than one of his own songs over the years, a real, ongoing acknowledgement of the man who first believed in him. It was his own song Baby, featuring Mugis of Atubis, that truly turned him into a household name in his own right.
I promise on my honor today by your side. I will come tell your mama, say you be my wife. Cause I can be your man, and you can be my girl.
In 2009, his songs Babe and Push charted among the year's biggest hits on Joy FM's own countdown, and that same year, he released his debut album, Marche, officially announcing himself as one of the sharpest new voices in Ghanaian hip-hop and hip-life. There's a piece of this story that most casual fans never actually think about, where the name Sarkodie even came from. In 2012, on his second album, Rapperholic, he recorded a track called Sarkodie alongside one of Ghana's true hip-life legends, Obrafour, a rapper widely respected as one of the founding fathers of the entire genre.
Yo, what the hump I walk 6 feet. Hammer, Charlie, this be some sick beat.
In the Akan language, Sarkodie means ego, and on that record, Obrafour, the veteran, the elder statesman, essentially anoints the young rapper on his own song, calling him that ego, Sarkodie. Fans still describe that moment as a genuine baton handover, one generation passing the torch to the next, live on record. It's not an exaggeration to say that moment is where the name Sarkodie, the ego, was truly born in the public imagination, and it's a piece of history that carries real emotional weight for anyone who understands Ghanaian hip-life history. And right there in that very same song, Sarkodie doesn't forget where he came from either, directly shouting out Hammer by name in his own verse, a small but genuine nod to the man who discovered him in the first place, tying the whole story together on one single track. His live show started building serious momentum early too. On the 16th of September, 2009, barely a year into his career, Sarkodie performed alongside American rap legend Busta Rhymes at the Busta Rhymes Live in Ghana concert, a massive early co-sign for a rapper who'd only just released his debut album. By 2010, he was already part of a historic Ghanaian cypher broadcast on the international airing of the BET Hip Hop Awards, sharing that platform with respected American lyricists. In 2016, he took things even further, performing at the O2's Indigo venue in London alongside a live band called The Composers, and that same year, he was invited to speak to students at Harvard Business School, delivering a talk called The Art of the Hustle about the real challenges of building a career as an African musician, before performing for the room afterward. That's a rapper from Tama, standing in front of Harvard, and then getting up to rap for them. And hey, real quick again, who do you want us to cover next? Drop the name in the comments, we are actually reading every single one.
Okay, Obede, #1, I'm the best MC from the ghetto.
From there, Sarkodie's rise became one of the most consistent in the history of Ghanaian music. Unlike some of his peers, his story isn't built on one explosive controversial night, it's built on more than a decade of relentless output, sharp lyricism, and business instinct. In 2014, he founded his own record label, Sarkcess Music, and by 2016, it was already recognized as one of the leading labels in the country, giving him control over his own royalties and a platform to develop other artists under his wing. His accolades piled up year after year, eventually earning him the Vodafone Ghana Music Award for Artist of the Decade, a title that speaks for itself. Across his career, he has amassed an almost unbelievable 120 awards from 206 nominations, including 30 separate Ghana Music Awards alone. Internationally, in 2019, he became the very first winner of Best International Flow Act at the BET Hip Hop Awards, a genuinely massive recognition from one of the biggest names in black entertainment media. Along the way, he's shared stages with international names like T-Pain, Mavado, Trey Songz, Ludacris, Busta Rhymes, and Miguel, and he was even featured on a remake of Bob Marley's classic Stir It Up, a rare honor for any African artist. And then there's Rapperholic, the concert series that's become genuinely legendary in Ghana. Sarkodie launched it in 2012, on Christmas Day, and it grew year after year into one of the biggest fixtures on Ghana's entire entertainment calendar, eventually expanding from Accra into Kumasi too, selling out consistently, sometimes within 72 hours of tickets going live. The 2017 edition alone featured Becca, Kwesi Arthur, Kidi, Ordina, Obrafour, Strongman, Efia, Nigerian star Corrid Bello, and British rapper Big Shaq.
The thing goes
In 2023, the Rapperholic Rebirth edition brought a genuinely emotional moment, when Sarkodie paid tribute on stage to his late lawyer and close confidant, Cynthia Kwaku, publicly acknowledging just how much she'd meant to his career. Then, on the 6th of March, 2026, Sarkodie made history, taking Rapperholic outside of Ghana, and outside of Africa entirely, for the very first time, staging a sold-out show at London's legendary Royal Albert Hall, all 5,272 seats gone, timed deliberately to land on Ghana's Independence Day. He since announced an even bigger step, bringing Rapperholic UK to the O2 Arena in 2027, one of the largest indoor venues in all of Europe. From a Christmas Day show in Accra to a sold-out night at the Royal Albert Hall, that's not luck, that's 15 years of consistency finally being seen on the biggest stages on earth. In 2015, Sarkodie released one of the most personal projects of his entire career, a live album called Mary, named after his own grandmother, who had passed away in 2012. She was the one who had always wanted him to record real, live music, and it took him 2 full years to finally bring that vision to life, working closely with producer Akubo and blending high life, Afrobeats, and hip-hop with live instrumentation for the very first time in his catalog. Nearly 4,000 copies sold on the very first day alone. The album featured Efia, Mugiz, Obrafour once again, and others, but at its core, Mary was a love letter to the woman who raised him, believing in him before the rest of the world did. But even the most respected rapper in the country hasn't avoided beef entirely. His most famous rap battle came in 2016, against fellow rapper M.anifest. It started when Sarkodie released Bossy, a track where he crowned himself the best rapper in Ghana without apology.
They talking about rappers and I'm left out. How? Conversations for my next house. Since I Ghana, who's the fucking best now? Of course it's me, goddammit.
M.anifest responded with God MC, a sharp, socially conscious diss that actually went on to win Hip Hop Song of the Year at the Ghana Music Awards the following year.
I pull up on the feature, screaming hallelujah. In a barracuda, smoking Buddha and Fallujah.
Sarkodie fired back within days with Konta. And for a while, the two traded real shots that had the entire country talking about lyricism again. But unlike a lot of Ghanaian rap beefs, this one actually had a happy ending. On Christmas Eve of 2018, the two publicly squashed it, with Sarkodie performing at M.anifest's own annual M.anifest TV's concert in Accra, and by 2020, they had fully cemented their friendship, with Sarkodie featuring M.anifest on his politically conscious track, Brown Paper Bag.
See, we do have a choice, but we still ain't free.
His relationship with Shatta Wale is genuinely one of the most complicated, chaotic, and honestly kind of beautiful relationships in Ghanaian music, and it deserves more than just being called a beef. Before any of the tension, the two were actual collaborators and friends, linking up in 2016 for Mere Jiwa Girl, a song that ruled the airwaves at the time. The real crack in that friendship, according to Shatta Wale's own account years later, traces back to October of 2018, over a Glow-sponsored concert deal. The two had reportedly agreed to jointly hold out for a combined fee of $150,000, or boycott the show entirely if the organizers wouldn't pay it. According to Shatta Wale, the organizers came back with a lower offer instead, and rather than standing firm together, Sarkodie quietly accepted and performed anyway, something Shatta Wale has since openly called a betrayal. That underlying tension spilled into public view weeks earlier, in September of 2018, when Shatta Wale went on Hits FM and accused Sarkodie of skipping the video shoot for their joint song, Dancehall Commando, to instead shoot videos with Nigerian artists, even threatening to charge Sarkodie's own signee, Strongman, over an unrelated collaboration. Sarkodie mostly ignored the jabs at first, but on the 10th of October, 2018, he finally responded with a freestyle titled My Advice, later released properly as Advice, widely considered one of the sharpest, most lethal diss songs in Ghanaian music history. Shatta Wale clapped back with My Level, insisting Sarkodie simply wasn't operating on his level anymore. For a while, it looked like a real, lasting rupture. But then something happened that almost never happens in this industry. They actually found their way back to real friendship, not just a public photo-op peace treaty. On the 17th of August, 2020, Shatta Wale made a surprise appearance at Sarkodie's own virtual concert at Black Star Square, performing alongside him to promote Sarkodie's album, Black Love, a moment widely seen as the public close of a feud that had dragged on for roughly 5 years. Sarkodie has since described Shatta Wale as a deeply sincere person, someone who stands by exactly what he says, and admitted he actually needed a friend in the industry with that kind of unfiltered, contrasting energy to balance out his own famously calm demeanor. As recently as 2026, the two reunited publicly on stage together in London, at Kweku Smoke's sold-out show at Electric Brixton, and shortly after, released a brand new joint single together called Everlasting.
Talk much, make I talk my shit. Bang down. Like this, bow to me like Chinese.
That reunion, and that song, actually stirred up fresh tension elsewhere, because right around the same time, Stonebwoy posted a cryptic message online about two unnamed people maintaining what he called a convenient friendship, based on interest and timing, adding that even the devil hates that. Fans immediately connected it to Sarkodie and Shatta Wale's reunion. Sarkodie responded with his own cryptic post, but when he finally addressed it directly, he stayed remarkably composed, saying he had no real problem with Stonebwoy's comments and that people were simply reading too much into it, adding that industry relationships are often more complicated than they look from the outside. It's a perfect snapshot of exactly who Sarkodie is, right in the middle of two of the biggest personalities in Ghanaian music, somehow the calmest voice in the room. That actually says a lot about his relationship with Stonebwoy too, which has genuinely run hot and cold over the years, but has mostly landed on mutual respect. The two go back to at least 2013, when Stonebwoy featured on Sarkodie's own album, Psychology, alongside a massive guest list that included Davido, Burna Boy, and Tiwa Savage. By 2022, Stonebwoy was telling Hits FM directly that things between them were completely cool, even joking that the two of them had been hanging out together in Memphis. The 2026 tension around the convenient friendship post shows that things between the three of them, Sarkodie, Shatta Wale, and Stonebwoy, are still evolving in real time, but through all of it, Sarkodie has consistently positioned himself as the one refusing to escalate, choosing calm words over public warfare almost every single time. More recently, in 2023, Sarkodie found himself the target of an entire wave of dissers at once, with rapper Yapono releasing Yard, mocking him for featuring on a deceased legend's song, while Kwesi publicly defended him, telling Yapono flatly that dissing someone already ahead of you in the game was a waste of energy. Sarkodie eventually responded to the pile-up, addressing Kwesi, Yapono, and rapper Dremo all at once, without ever losing his composure in the process. Away from the beefs, Sarkodie has also faced a genuinely difficult public controversy tied to his personal life. In her 2023 memoir, I Am Not Yvonne Nelson, the Ghanaian actress wrote about a past relationship with Sarkodie from around 2010, describing an unplanned pregnancy during that time. The claim sparked massive public discussion across Ghana and beyond. Sarkodie addressed the allegations publicly, and on the 28th of June, 2023, released a track called Try, responding directly to her account. It remains one of the more sensitive chapters of his public life, and to this day, both sides have told their story in their own way. On the personal side, Sarkodie married Tracy Owusu Addo in a private ceremony in Accra in July of 2018. Tracy, sometimes known as Tracy Sarkcess, has been by his side since long before the fame, supporting him through his early struggles as an emerging rapper. Together, they have two children, a daughter named Adeline, born in March of 2016 and affectionately called Titi, and a son named Michael Owusu Addo Jr., born in March of 2020 and known as MJ, named directly after his father. Sarkodie's business instincts have made him, by most estimates, the wealthiest musician in Ghana, with his net worth estimated anywhere between $10 and $20 million, depending on which source you check. Beyond Sarkcess music, he's built a portfolio of brand ambassador deals with major companies like Samsung, Guinness Ghana, Fan Milk, and Standard Chartered Bank, launched his own clothing line, and invested in real estate. And unlike some of his peers, his philanthropy runs deep and structured too. In July of 2013, he launched the Sarkodie Foundation, a non-profit dedicated to supporting underprivileged children, making generous donations to the Royal Seed Home Orphanage in Kosoa, and running Feed the Kids campaigns that have handed out rice, school bags, and basic necessities to thousands of children across Tama and beyond. There's one more thing about Sarkodie that genuinely sets him apart, and it ties right back to that Obrafour moment that gave him his own name. Throughout his career, Sarkodie has become known as one of the most generous established artists in Ghana when it comes to lifting up the next generation, frequently jumping on a rising talent's breakout song for free, purely to help push their name further. The clearest example came in December of 2017, when a young, largely unknown rapper named Kwesi Arthur released a song called Grind Day.
Every day, yeah. Grind day, okay, yeah. Every day we hustle, what crowd your phone didn't hope for myself for every day.
Sarkodie hopped on the official remix alongside Medical, delivering what many still call one of his best guest verses of that entire year, and that single co-sign helped launch Kwesi Arthur into one of the most respected new voices in Ghanaian hip-hop almost overnight. That same generosity even reached beyond hip-hop entirely, once linking up with Bogatanga Kologo player Atimbala on the song Nice Me.
One time.
I see you so beautiful, sweet, I see you so nice me.
What else?
It's a small, quiet kind of generosity, the same kind Obrafour once showed him on Sarkodie, just passed forward to the next artist coming up, whoever they are and wherever they are from. But interestingly, that same spirit of mentorship hasn't always come full circle cleanly, and nowhere is that more true than with Somini. Back in 2013, Somini released a song called Pink Sheet, calling out several artists in the industry as fake, and referencing a line from Sarkodie's own song, Boga, that mentioned him by name. Sarkodie downplayed it immediately, publicly saying he could never diss Somini, calling him bigger than himself and someone he genuinely looked up to. The following year, the two actually collaborated, with Somini recording a feature on Sarkodie's song Love Rocks, delivering his verse for free within 24 hours. But that generosity, according to Somini, was never really returned. In 2021, he says he reached out for a feature from Sarkodie for his own Burning EP and got nothing back. By January of 2023, a frustrated Somini said publicly that he was no longer interested in ever getting a verse from Sarkodie again, calling him unreliable. Then, in September of 2023, on TV3, Somini went even further, directly accusing Sarkodie of exploiting fellow artists for his own gain, arguing that very few of Sarkodie's own biggest songs are actually big on their own, without leaning on someone else's feature to carry them. And now, in 2026, that same tension appears to be resurfacing again. On his brand new single, Ino Easy, featuring Dope Nation, Sarkodie dropped a line that a lot of fans are already reading as a direct response to Somini's years of criticism.
Yeah. Feel like if people the figures need to be around for this long, it be joke, right? What else? Even way before I really popped up, so many songs where I the ghost right.
Whatever that line actually says, it's clear this particular tension between two respected veterans hasn't fully gone away, even years later. It's a reminder that even an artist as widely respected as Sarkodie carries his own complicated threads, the same way every artist in this industry does. Before we wrap this up, real quick, if you're watching this and you haven't heard yet, Sarkodie is still very much active right now. He just dropped a brand new single called Ino Easy, featuring the duo Dope Nation, and it's already making serious waves across Ghana. It's a genuinely motivational track, all about how success never comes easy, built on that classic sharp Sarkodie delivery mixed with Dope Nation's energetic hooks. If you haven't checked it out yet, go stream Ino Easy right now. It's a perfect example of why this man is still relevant 15 plus years into his career. What makes Sarkodie's story genuinely different from Shatta Wale and Stonebwoy is the shape of it. There's no single explosive scandal that defines his career, no viral chaotic night that the whole country remembers above everything else. Ask almost anyone in the Ghanaian music industry about Sarkodie, and you'll hear some version of the same thing: respect, consistency. The guy who turned a Coke bottle and a long walk from Tama to Spintex into a BT trophy and a sold-out night at the Royal Albert Hall. His story is one of pure consistency, over 15 years of hit records, business growth, an actual BT trophy, and a level of respect from almost every corner of the Ghanaian music industry that's genuinely rare. That doesn't mean his life has been without real controversy, because it hasn't, but even his rivals have mostly ended up finding peace with him eventually. From a boy walking miles for a bottle of Coke, through underground battles on Edem FM, all the way to a BT trophy, a Ghana Music Award for Artist of the Decade, and a sold-out night at London's Royal Albert Hall, Sarkodie's journey proves that you don't need chaos to become a legend. Sometimes consistency is the loudest statement of all. If you've been following our Shatta Wale and Stonebwoy series, now you've got the third piece of the puzzle. Drop a comment telling us how you rank all three of them, and one more time, tag the artist you want us to cover next. We genuinely go through the comments to pick our next story. And if you're new here, subscribe to Magma Decoded right now. We are still a new channel, and every single subscribe, like, comment, and share genuinely helps us keep bringing you the untold stories of Africa's biggest names, the real ones, not just the headlines.